Welcome to the video. In this video, we are going to be looking at Project IDX by Google. So to get started, let's go ahead and click on this. And we're going to use this Project IDX platform, which is an online IDE, so for development and programming. We're going to use this to build a simple to-do app. So we could explore, we can go to the different things, we could look at their blog, their documentation, but we're going to just go ahead and get started. So the first thing we see is we start building your app in the cloud. So welcome to the Project IDX, a new web-based development workspace from Google. And we can start something new from a template, and then we have lots of options to choose from. We've got Angular and Go and Next.js and Flutter. Of course, that would be for mobile apps. So if you're wanting to build an Android app or whatnot, you could definitely use Flutter. You can work with the Gemini API, Node Express, and then you can click the see all templates, and then we can go here, and then we can filter in specifically, like if we're looking for a back-end development or mobile development, or machine learning and AI, database development. So got your Postgres, MySQL, Firebase Data Connect, and then we have miscellaneous here. And this is what we're going to be working with. I'm going to start with just a blank workspace. So I'm going to click that, and then we're just going to name this To-Do App. And we'll let that set up the workspace, and it'll initialize the environment, and then it'll start building the environment for us. So and Project IDX does have access to Gemini. So you will actually be using the Gemini model from Google to be able to create the application, or to get suggestions or fixes or ask it questions. So there's a lot you can do with it here. So we'll just let it finish doing what it's doing here. So we have this dev.nix, and this is sort of it sort of manages everything. So we'll be making some changes to this in a little bit, but first I wanted to get our application started. So we're going to go down here at the bottom, and we're going to go to Gemini, and we'll click that, and it's chat with Gemini, and we'll go ahead and allow this. So for the command prompt, I'm just going to say, please create a to-do application. We'll just keep it short and simple. So, okay, I'll create a simple to-do application. Here's the basic structure using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Didn't even have to add that, so it got it for us. So while it's finishing, we can look at this. Okay, so it's finished. It said it's created these three files. You can copy paste the code into the corresponding file. So, and then we can open up the HTML, the index.html. So let's go ahead and start with the index.html, and we'll create that file over here in our Explorer window. And so I'm going to drag this over to this tab. We'll scroll back up to our code. So if we have this file selected, we can actually just go ahead and insert the code in here. And if we have this file selected, we can also ask it specific questions about this. So next, we know that the next file that it's going to be calling, of course, is the CSS here. So I'll just copy that text and go back over to Explorer, create a new file. We've got the CSS. I'm going to drag this back over here again. And next, we're going to copy this, even though it says JavaScript, it's CSS. So we'll go ahead and copy that over. Scroll back down. So our last file is the script.js file. So let's go ahead back over our Explorer window, create a new file, and paste that title in there. And drag this back over here. Okay, so we got all three files. Let's go ahead and copy the code over here. All right. So it's not a lot of code, so we're definitely going to be missing some stuff. We do have a delete box. Doesn't look like we have a checkbox here. No way to complete it. No way to, and also we don't have an event listener for the input field, so we're definitely not going to be able to submit it unless we click the button. So we'll be making changes to this. But first of all, so we do have these files. We have everything ready. Let's go back to our Nix file. And what I want to do is I'm going to go down here to packages, and I am going to uncomment this line right here. And then next, I want to uncomment the entire web part so we can launch our web. And since we're doing Python, I want to change this code to Python 3. And we'll do m message. We're going to change, we want this to be a server, so we'll go http.server. So that'll work. We need it to work with a port, so port. Okay, so everything looks good. Let's go ahead and rebuild the environment. And so now what this is going to do is it's going to be setting up our environment in Python. So the server environment will be working in Python. The code, of course, is the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but it'll let us preview that and be able to make changes, and then just refresh the browser, the built-in preview browser, to be able to see the changes that we make. So, all right, so everything looks good. We'll just wait for the browser to start up here. And there we go. So let's go ahead and type in a new test one, and I press enter, nothing's happening. We press add, and it looks good. It does let us check it off, but I always like to have a checkbox there, and delete does work. So first thing I want to do is I'd like to have some code here so that when we press enter, so it will also create the to-do. So we'll say, please, Raleigh, create code so that when the user presses the enter key while in the input field creates the to-do. All right, so now it's generating the code for this. We'll see if it does it. And so here's an issue. Make sure that you are, when you are, so I guess part of this is that you need to know the file that it needs to be in. Since we're wanting to create a function, so this right here would work. We can go ahead and copy this over here, but since this is going to be JavaScript, I would really rather it have, be here. So I'll just go ahead and I'm gonna see if I can just do that again and then press enter. So now that I am actually have the right file selected, it looks like it's going to just give me the create. Okay, so it was looking at the index.html. So some of the programs that we've worked with, like Cursor and Klein and that kind of stuff, it can look through multiple files. Gemini's helper, it can only look at one file at a time. So it's looking at the file here to give you the code that you need, but it's not aware of these other files, what's in these other files. So be aware of that if you use Gemini. So here's the so your existing code. So now we're going to add this new code. So I'm just going to copy this, and we're going to paste this in here. So let's see, where do we want to paste it? We'll just go here. Okay, so that looks good. And so add event listener, key up. Okay, looks like that's all we need. So let's go back to our preview. We'll go ahead and restart the page. And this time, let's see, test one, and press enter. And it's not working yet. It didn't look right. So let's see. So yeah, that did not work. Okay, so it's troubleshooting it to ensure the code is placed in the proper location. Okay, so that's the issue. We didn't put this code in the proper location. And you can see actually exactly what's going on. So our code, we put it inside this function. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so let's just move the code outside of the function here. And then let's go back and hit refresh. So sometimes you're doing a video and not thinking, and so you make mistakes. So now it's working. So we pressed enter. So that looks good. It is checking off. And we're 10 minutes into this, so I think we'll go ahead and stop here. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you're interested in working with Project IDX, it's a good platform. You can use it to go ahead and launch your website on Firebase, and it has a ton of other features that we'll probably look into later in the future. But this was a short introduction and tutorial. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.